guys, welcome back to my channel. It's so good to see you guys again. As you can see from the title, we are going to be doing a little advice video. The only reason I'm in my car today is one, because I was cleaning my room today and it's still in the process of being a mess, and two, because I think the lighting is better in my car. I am just gonna go park somewhere and just chill in the car. Honestly, it's a weird setup for an advice video, but who gives a shit? Just a little disclaimer, this shirt, very cute rhinestone little tee, is from my bestie's brand and it's called Jaded Mind Clothing. And I will have it linked down below. She has an Instagram and she sells a bunch of really cool pieces. So I haven't filmed an advice video in a really long time, mainly because sometimes I feel like people don't want to see those videos as much as like my other videos that I film. But then I was also having an inner moment the other day when I was driving home and I'm like, I love talking. I love talking. And I love giving people advice that maybe they don't have that perspective from other people, or maybe they don't have that person in their life that they can go and ask. That was a whole entire thought process that went behind this video. So glad you guys know that now. So what I did was I went on Instagram, as I do, and I asked you guys to give me any questions, any topics, anything that you might need advice on, questions, blah, blah, blah. And I am just going to be answering those during this video. So I have done advice videos before, but what I've never done is give you guys the option to be anonymous. So that was a cool thing that I decided to do because I got so many good juicy questions. That's gonna be really interesting to talk about. So I'm glad I did that. It was a good idea for me. Let's get right into it and we'll start off. I was cheated on 2 times with the same girl, still with the same boyfriend, but I gained so many insecurities. She also said being insecure because I'm super thin. Okay, we'll talk about both of those. Now, I'm not gonna bash anybody for their choices. Every relationship's different and everybody should be really aware of that. Nobody's gonna have the same exact relationship. But I'm gonna give you my own personal opinion on cheating. I think that, you know, cheating itself is already a huge mistake that led up to that situation. A second time of it happening is almost like, you know, you're dead to me. And with the same person is also just like, that person's just stabbing you over and over again and you're saying, I forgive you, I forgive you. You know what I mean? Obviously I don't know the whole context, every single detail of the situation, but from what I do know, of course you're gonna deal with so many insecurities after that. You're gonna question why that person did that to you, why they made the same mistake after, I'm assuming, they apologized and said it wouldn't happen again, which is why you probably took them back. Obviously you're gonna grow insecurities, your confidence is gonna go down, you're gonna be insecure about that person, there's gonna be trust issues, there's gonna be so much that comes with, you know, trying to forgive that person. And what I would say is the easier option is letting that person go, because, you know, sometimes a relationship is not worth the pain. You can say that you love that person so much and you've been through everything with that person, but at the end of the day, you're going to hurt more being with them than without them. And your pain and grieving of the relationship will pass and then you can move on to better things. But if you're still with that person, you're going to be insecure and not feeling good for a lot longer. That would be my personal opinion. And to answer your second question, insecurities on being thin. I have literally been there my whole entire life. I've never been able to, you know, put on any weight or change the way that my body looks, like, ever. And it's very strange to me, but I've obviously gotten used to it now. You know what? Everybody is literally so unique and different, and there's so much beauty in whatever body type that you have. And the thing is, you have to reach a level in your mind where you can't let the thoughts, the words, the actions of other people affect you, because you know that that's a reflection of themselves and not a reflection of you. If somebody's really bashing you for the way that you look, it's really insecurities in themselves, it's really problems with them being able to have, you know, confidence in the way that they look. I promise you, everybody is worrying way more about the way that they look than the way that anybody else looks. Okay, this one is how to get over a breakup, significant other, or friendship. Everybody's gonna do something different when it comes down to a breakup, especially depending on how much that person was in your life. If it is a relationship, then I'm assuming that that person was a huge part of your life, so there's gonna be a lot of grieving that relationship, there's gonna be a lot of heartbreak, there's gonna be a lot of adapting to like a life without them. The only difference between a relationship and a friendship would be the romantic love that you're gonna be lacking. The best thing that you can do in that situation is like literally just take time with yourself. I don't know, I feel like so many people nowadays in this culture, like when you break up with someone, it's like, oh my god, I need to go out and find something to make them jealous. I need to do this. I need to find someone else. I need to, you know, show them how good I'm doing. But like, it's for the wrong reasons. And I feel like people need to reflect back and realize, okay, that chapter of my life is done. Most of you guys are probably young like me, or a couple years older, a couple years younger. There's so much more of your life left to live and other people that you're gonna meet. And you kind of just have to go through the motions, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to heal. If you kind of ignore it and go out and try to make your life look amazing on Instagram, you're going to come home that night and feel like shit. And the only way to not feel like shit is to feel it all at once, go through every single emotion that comes through until you feel better. It's the worst answer, but also the only answer. Okay, hey Alex, how do you deal with toxic friends and people? Okay, how do we deal with toxic people? We don't deal with them. Genuinely, we do not deal with toxic people here. We don't give our energy, we don't give our time, we don't give our fucking patience to people that will not do the same to you. There is a fine line between toxic people and toxic situations. Now, I think a lot of people nowadays use the word toxic so like broadly, and they love to use the word like, oh, that girl's toxic, he's so toxic, that relationship's so toxic. At the end of the day, you know what truly is toxic if it's repetitive, if it's happening over and over and over and over and over again. The person's not apologizing, the person doesn't see that they're wrong, the person's just doing things on purpose to hurt you. That's toxic. But toxic people can be really draining and can really kind of hurt your mental. So personally, it's something that I would distance myself from. Doesn't mean you have to cut that person off right away, because I know that that can be hard. Distance can really help you realize, am I dealing with something that's not worth it? After you've had your distance, you can make a decision on what would be best. If you want to work something out with that person, maybe they don't realize what they're doing. Maybe they're a narcissist, who knows? But distance is my answer to that one. Alright, next question. How the fuck do I release myself from the shackles of the talking stage? Alright, okay. Here's the thing. I feel like the talking stage has to happen, sweetheart. But I do know what you mean. Like, sometimes it can last a bit too long. You get a little confused, you get a little annoyed. You're like, what the fuck am I doing? Am I wasting my time? Realistically, you're just gonna have to go with your gut in that situation, because the only way to release yourself from the talking stage is to either one, end it and say, see ya, I'm done. Or two, talk to that person and say, so what are your intentions? You know what I mean? I mean, you don't have to say it like that, but then you have to figure out where that relationship's going. Those are your two options. Okay, someone asked, what are some things that give you motivation to be fit and eat healthy? I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, because I've never been kind of like gym freak or like super healthy, and right now I'm kind of on a bit of a slump. I haven't really been doing it as much as I should, exercising and kind of prioritizing my health. I started working out recently because of my mental health, because I realized I was in a not very good place, and a huge part of it was the way that I spent my time and the way that I felt about myself. And what working out and exercising can do is help you get on a better schedule with your day-to-day life and make you feel better about yourself at the end of the day. So those are my two key factors of motivation that I have to remind myself. I also get really motivated by seeing other people work out. When I see the progression of other people and how they've improved from working out, not only mentally but physically, that also makes me motivated and want to work out. I'm super shy and like one of my coworkers, but don't know how to talk to him without coming off too strong. How do I get to know him better? Ooh, fun. This can be a bit of a sticky situation because you are coworkers, you don't want to make the situation awkward. I'd say, you know, start off friendly. You're right, you don't want to come off too strong. You don't want to be like, oh, you want to go on a date? Without even really fully knowing that person, because you also really have to figure out, do you like that person or does he just have tattoos? Do you really like him or does he just have curly hair? Do you know what I mean? Here's what you can do. You can start more conversations with that person. If you're working a job where you have to do tasks, then be like, hey, do you want to do this with me? Do you want to help me out with this or whatever? Approach them more often. And I think these things just in on themselves without you being forward or being flirtatious or whatever is already going to send the signals to that person that you might be interested in them. You can be really subtle and that person can still understand what you're trying to give off. Be nice, be friendly, be yourself. And once you feel comfortable, you feel like you know the person, then maybe you can even be like, what are you doing after the shift? Want to go get some coffee? Someone said, feeling unsafe when you're alone outside. Damn, this is a deep question because it really is something that every girl feels every time they step outside. And it's really unfortunate and it's sad and it sucks so much that we live in a world where women can't feel safe to go on a walk at night or to go to the store when it's dark out. There really isn't any tips on feeling safe. The real thing that has to change is the fucking world that we live in. There are a couple of things that I do personally when I don't feel safe. When I used to go to school and come back to the parking lot late at night, but I would hold my keys in a specific way that would be like through my knuckles. I would not play any music in my ears when I'm walking by myself. Even if I do have headphones in, I would turn it really low or turn it off so that I'm aware of my surroundings. The second I get into my car, I lock it. Other than that, I know a lot of people like to carry things with them like mace or pepper spray. They're not legal where I live, so I can't. Honestly, I definitely would if I could. The most important thing I'd say is to be really conscious of your surroundings, but again, God forbid if something does happen to you, it's not your fault. It's not because you didn't do these things. It's because of the fucking people that are in this world and the way it works. Somebody asked, how do you build confidence and what are the steps to self-love and finding yourself? I think the number one thing when it comes to self-love is to actually spend time with yourself. And a lot of the times people will think laying in your bed, being on TikTok or watching Netflix and sitting by yourself is spending time with yourself, when in reality it's not. You have to consciously be aware that you are by yourself. And sometimes it's as little as turning everything off, being just with yourself and setting a timer for 5 minutes to sit with yourself, to be with your thoughts, to understand what's going on in your brain, and to even talk to yourself in third person in your head. And that's kind of the first steps into self-love. And I'm telling you this from my own experience of trying to get to that place. I'm not a person that is a fucking professional in self-love. I'm far from it. I have insecurities. I have a lot of shit going on in my own head, but I'm also working on being really aware of the things that I do and the way that it affects me. And I think that some really good ways of growing in that way and healing yourself is to be really aware of what you're doing in your day-to-day life and what you're saying to yourself in your head that changes everything. I personally love journaling. It's literally the easiest way to get everything that's going on in your head down on paper and really understanding your own thoughts. And I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of research, which is might sound weird, but there's YouTube videos, there's TED Talks, there's so much shit out there. And realistically, the way that I have grown the most is through spending time with myself and therapy too. But I know that that's not accessible to everybody. Okay guys, I have to pee so bad. My camera's about to overheat. I really don't know how many questions I answered, but I really hope that whoever asked these questions got what they needed. If you guys have any answers to these questions that you think that you can add to, put them in the comments down below so the people who asked them can read, or whoever's interested can read them. I wish I could talk for longer because I love doing these, which is why for such a long time I wanted to do a podcast, but then I told myself no one would listen to it. But there I am again with my insecurities. If you guys did enjoy this, don't forget to like this video and comment down below what you want to see in the future. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. A lot of people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so if you're not, please subscribe because it boosts my confidence and I need it. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, I have all my socials down below. I have my Instagram, I have my Twitch, and I have my TikTok, so you guys can check those out. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for asking me all these questions. I love you guys, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!